favorite topic, one of my favorite topics. It was Grant Tinker. I had created Remington Steele a few years before and sold it to Grant Tinker when he was at Fox, and we never could get anywhere with it. Then, when I called him 5 years subsequently, as the fates have it, Jackie Cooper, as the pilot director of Hill Street, had just turned it down. And I phoned that very day, maybe, pretty close, and said, Grant, let's talk about Remington Steele again. And Grant said, listen, before we talk about Remington Steele, let me send you a script. And he sent me Hill Street Blues. And I liked it a lot, but I had just the right dash of disdain, because my thinking was, do we really need another cop show? And I thought the writing was terribly clever, and Bochco and Kozel were very knowledgeable, savvy, smart guys, and the pages were good. So we met and talked about it, and Grant was saying, and others at the table of 5 or 6 of us as we were schmoozing that day, it seems very real. It seems like that's the way it is. And I said, yeah, that's very true. But guys, there's a lot of comedy in this show too. I hope you all know that, because it certainly seems clear to me. And though these guys respectfully aren't comedy writers, here's great comedy, etc. So we just talked through, and I got the job. Net, I got the power, because I was forced down their throats. Maybe they swallowed gracefully, but I was forced down their throats by Grant. So I had the power, and I could do the show any way I thought it should be done. And I thought it should be done raw and rough, and the way it was done, and it went great. Stephen and Michael essentially hear the show. They're not so interested in how it looks. I think Stephen has said that in articles. And I'm fascinated by how it looks, and I really respected the words. So it was just a good match. And got in there and very much did it the way I thought it should be done, and was right. You got to be right. But man, when you run with your own notions and then you're right, it's really wonderful, and that's what the story was that. Then we rehearsed and got that camera work going, and got those overlaps and those concurrent scenes and all that stuff that certainly originated in the material. But we got it all so it executed pretty well. And as we were shooting, I wanted Bill Kronjager, the very good cinematographer, to make it look raw and, un-Hollywood and dirty, and he certainly did. And he was nervous about it. He kept whispering to me, are you sure you want it this bad? And I said, you bet your ass, make it worse. And, he won an Emmy. It's the classic story, but he just did a great job. We all did, because we responded to the house. That material demanded a certain allegiance and credibility and seeming raw reality. And underlined seeming because in one sequence, Veronica walks into maybe it's her entrance, I don't really remember now, but she walks into the precinct in a fur coat. Give me a break, that's not reality. But it worked, it was right, and we got it. We, the audience, got it. She's arrogant, she's special, she's elite, she's superior. It just, everything worked in our favor. I tried to do it all handheld, and the dailies got a little rough on the second day for the group, and they said, please, only in high action sequences, go handheld. And so I certainly did. But it was good. It was good. I remember going up to Betty Thomas, who was very new and green at that moment, who's a terrific director now, as we know. Going up to her after she had watched Veronica Hamill walk into the precinct. And I wanted to shoot a shot of Betty. And I said, Betty, what do you think of her? And then we shot the shot, and she just despised her for every conceivable reason, justifiably. And it's loaded with anecdotes like that. At the end of one scene, Howard Hunter has to tap his pipe on a window that riddled with bullet holes, then crashes. And, you know, classically it's 6:15 and the sun's going down. And guys, if we don't get this today, we're coming back for it. No, we aren't coming back. Don't worry about it. Let's just roll and we'll have the discussion later. And boy, I can't think of his name now, Howard Hunter, he and the special effects man who was supposed to crunch the glass at the right moment were absolutely spot on. He kind of sneers at the inferiority of the world, takes his pipe, and he's about to light it and taps it out on this window. And the whole thing crashes down, and it was really a good joke, a good joke. A lot of fun, a lot of such happenings in that pilot. With me just supported by Grant, don't forget, because I was safe. I had to make it good, of course, but I was safe. I could follow my instinct, and I did, and as I say, I happen to be right. It's great when you're right, too. It's great when you follow your instinct, but when you do that and you're right, it's fun.